This is Rick Spiker with Winfield United. It's May 21st and I'm standing in a cornfield. Probably planted 3 weeks ago. As you can see, it's a small seedling, but it's very uniform. And we're going to take populations. We're going to look at the seeding depth and draw some insights. First thing is I pulled these 4 plants from the soil, and they are all planted at about a 2 to 2 1/4, 2.5 inch depth, which is perfect. And as a result of that seeding depth, the corn's emerging very uniformly. Even though we've had cold, choppy temperatures, having a deep enough seed depth ensures more uniform temperatures and a more uniform emergence. The corn is at V2, which means that there's 2 collars that are showing, these bottom 2. This 3rd leaf, the collar is still is not completely unfurled, and so it's not a true leaf yet. So this stage is V2 on May 21st. Let's take a look at the stand count. So we're 22-inch rows. 1/1000th of an acre is 23 feet 10 inches. So when I start there, I'll count them off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 18, 19, 20, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 29, 30, 31, 4, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42. 42,000 plants. There's a section right here where we have a plant that's 1 leaf behind the rest. For the most part, uniformity is very good. This is a very acceptable stand and uniformity for high producing corn crop. All right, this seedling, you can see the seed piece is intact and the soil surface is right here. Seed depth was 2 1/4 inches, and we have 2 leaves. You can see the thumb leaf here. That's our first leaf. Then the second leaf. Collars are visible on both. The 3rd leaf, the collar is not visible, so this is technically in V2 stage. Probably be V3 in a day or 2.
In the field, looking at the corn, you start with your V stages or your vegetative stages. You count the number of collared leaves that you would have in there. A critical time for doing tissue analysis is V4 or V5, because at that time we can collect a tissue sample and then we can apply nutrients at that critical growth stage. Another key point is to remember that you mark and monitor the VT when the corn plant is tasseling, and also R1 when it's just beginning to silk. Just for where it's vegetative, we start with our first thumb leaf that you can see, and it is distinctly different from all of the others. Then you go to your first leaf. You look for the leaves that have the collar, as Rick mentioned. Then you continue on and you count. So if you're going to look in the field, you start here again with your thumb leaf. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if you have 5 collared leaves, then that's V5. Since our corn is still small, I enlisted Gabe's help from down south. Here I asked him to look at the leaves and count them, starting with the thumb leaf, looking at each of the collared leaves and moving up, and to put a hole punch in the first leaf, the second, 2 in the second leaf, 3 in the 3rd leaf, 4 in the 4th leaf, and then 5 in the 5th leaf. You can utilize this strategy for going out and sampling in the field this summer, because then you won't have to worry about when those bottom leaves drop off, how many are in the field. So this is a good tool to utilize.
Field each and every day with a set of these, or not each and every day, but once a week as you go out there and start to stage it. Now, that's a wonderful idea, because when we get to this part of corn, when we start to look at corn that's this size right here, nobody really can tell me how many leaves I'm missing off the bottom side of that corn plant and then what stage. if I looked at this and guessed and said, oh, well, I'm missing that first true leaf, I'll go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, maybe going into 8. So I would say that that was 7 collar corn, or V7. Well, we know for sure that that's not right, because corn that's chest high or over my head at 6 foot would not be in that V6, V7 range, right? So what we've done here is we've come back and we've said, okay, well, there's a different methodology to doing this also that'll keep us out of a little bit of trouble. If we go down here, we'll find that soft spongy spot that we call the crown, and this one's kind of gotten darkened over the last couple of days as we've been doing some of these videos, but you'll notice right here is the soil line, okay? And then you'll notice that distinct line in the crown. That tells me that that's V5, okay? So everything north of V5 is going to be add a collar to it. So we start at V5, and then I'll know that this leaf is still attached, okay? But I can see it right here at this V6 mark. So we've got V6, we've got V7, we've got V8, we've got V9, 10, and then if we peel back and look pretty good, we're at 10. We're not necessarily much further than that, okay? So that gives me a pretty good idea of, hey, if I've got that corn plant and I don't know where it's at, we can always slice off the bottom of that root just a little bit.
Notice the crown at the bottom, accounting for 4 leaves. Then you start and look at each inner node and you count them up from there. When you're collecting corn tissue samples, you need to collect the uppermost collared leaf on the corn plant up until you get to VT or tasseling. When you get to tasseling and you can see the corn ear, then you actually need to collect the leaf that's right next to the ear, or the ear leaf.